Thanks for joining us on Nationwide. I am Mina Daniels. The Federal High Court in Abuja has dismissed a suit instituted against President Bola Tinubu challenging the March 18, 2025 proclamation of state of emergency in Rivers State. Justice James Omotosho gave the order in a matter filed by Balema Briggs and 4 others in Abuja. The court held that the 5 plaintiffs lacked the legal power to institute the case as they suffered no legal wrong in the matter, since none of those who filed the case are from Rivers State ESCO Council or State Assembly. Besides, Justice Omotosho said that the claim of President Tinubu that the imposition state of emergency is to avoid looming breakdown of law and order was not challenged or disputed by the plaintiffs. Justice Omotosho said the case was frivolous and baseless because the mandate of other people of Rivers was not obtained before instituting it on their behalf. President Bola Tinubu has continued his drive to woo investors, particularly Nigerians in diaspora, to come home and invest for the growth of the country's economy. President Tinubu received 2 Nigerian global investment leaders, Chief Executive Officer, Global Infrastructure Partners, Bayo Ogunlesi, and Chairman Metis Capital Partners, Hakim Bello Osage, who is also a senior lecturer, Harvard Business School, at his Lagos residence, whose discussion centered on upstream oil and gas, as well as large-scale infrastructure investments. The president reaffirmed Nigeria's readiness to partner with leading global investors for sustainable growth and prosperity as part of his renewed hope agenda. The investors who were led to the meeting by the chairman of the National Revenue Service, Zak Adedeji, spoke to State House correspondents afterwards and indicated interest of investment in aviation and port sectors.
But look, Nigeria is now a place that is exciting to invest in, and that's what we talked to Mr. President about. And of course, as you would expect, he was very encouraging of international investments in Nigeria.
Okay, I'm not expecting you to tell me how that you told the president, but what sector particularly are you interested in?
Yeah, well, you think about all the sectors that we invest in. Energy. So we invest in energy. We're building LNG plants in Texas. We're building LNG plants in Australia. There's gas in Nigeria. Nigeria is a huge gas province. People describe me as the guy who bought Gatwick Airport. I didn't personally buy Gatwick Airport, but the aviation sector is also an area of interest to us. I confess to Mr. President that one of our companies has ports in Cotonou, and it has a port in Lomé, none in Nigeria. So I asked for his forgiveness and understanding, and being the gentleman that he was, he forgave me, but said, you have to bring port investment to Nigeria. So that's another area we're looking at. Renewables, that's another area. So lots of investment opportunities in Nigeria. You just have to be serious about making the right moves.
I think when Nigerians in Nigeria and when Nigerians in the diaspora invest in Nigeria, it can only be a great signal for the international community to invest in us and make our country greater.
They commended the president's reforms, which they say have positioned Nigeria for economic growth.
Think about it.
Vice President Kashim Shettima has returned to Abuja after representing President Bola Ahmed Tinubu at the 80th session of the United Nations General Assembly in New York and strategic engagements in Germany. During the week-long international engagement, the Vice President delivered President Tinubu's national statement calling for comprehensive UN reforms, championed Africa's sovereignty over its $700 billion mineral resources, and strengthened strategic partnerships with the United Kingdom, Gates Foundation, and other international stakeholders. Shettima also met with the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres and secured his commendation for Nigeria's bid for a permanent Security Council seat, and in another engagement showcased the country's $200 billion energy transition opportunity to global investors. He also assured the Nigerian diaspora community of robust engagement in the President Tinubu administration's policies and programs before his engagements in Germany. INEC Chairman Professor Mahmood Yakubu has appealed to the National Assembly to expedite action on the amendment of the 2022 Electoral Act to enable the Commission come up with guidelines for the 2027 general election. He made the appeal while receiving a delegation of the European Election Observation Commission mission at the Commission's headquarters in Abuja.
The Commission has carefully considered all the 8 recommendations specifically addressed to us in your report. Action has been taken on aspects of the recommendations that only require administrative action to implement. Similarly, action is being taken on cross-cutting recommendations that require collective action between INEC and other bodies and stakeholders, while waiting for the conclusion of the ongoing legal review by the National Assembly on the recommendations that require legislative intervention.
What we are here to do is to look at the recommendations that flowed from the overall mission that were contained in the final report of the mission back in 2023. And we are very happy to see that there has been very significant progress against these recommendations. We recognize that there are certain time constraints, both in terms of judicial reform as well as administrative reform, and of course constitutional reform, which is.
He emphasized that out of the 38 recommendations made by the EU in the 2023 general election, 8 were within the jurisdiction of the INEC and they have been implemented, while 30 need legislative consideration. And as President Bola Ahmed Tinubu prepares to visit Abia State, attention is once again on the federal government's interventions in road infrastructure across the state. Ifoma Ndokolie reports.
For years, bad roads have been the nightmare of residents of Abia State, crippling businesses and slowing economic activities. But today, the story is changing as President Tinubu's administration has stepped up efforts in rehabilitating federal roads in the state through the active supervision of the Minister of Works, Dave Umahi.
Consultancy work is that where the contractor is working, you are there checking to ensure that work is going on. I expect, engineer representative to be on site with the contractors.
Several federal roads in Abia, including the Enugu-Port Harcourt Expressway, the Owerenta-Umueka-Umueni Road, the Aba-Owerri Road, among others, have been in various stages of reconstruction.
This road formerly was a single lane, but now they are dualizing it, as we can see. And this will go a long way, because sometimes towards the early tide period, during Xmas, we always have traffic jam here, but I don't think that will happen this year.
I say a very big thank you to our president. He has done well, even if it is only this road that they have done for us. We are very grateful.
As Abia residents await the visit of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, observers expressed optimism that his presence will not only reaffirm the federal government's commitment to infrastructure renewal, but also strengthen collaboration with the state for accelerated development. In Umuahia, Ifoma Ndokolie, NTN News.
A social-cultural group named Natives has complemented the more than 20 billion naira intervention fund with 6 million naira for the completion of the National Library raised by the Nigerian First Lady, Oluremi Tinubu. The group said they now fund education policy introduced by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and other infrastructure development spread across zones and critical sectors, including foreign direct investments, are enough reasons why the Nigerian students, youths and citizens should endorse community continuity beyond 2027.
The policy is changing lives and giving students the opportunity to go to school. And the wife has decided to set up a library to give and add more to education. That's why, on behalf of our organization, we decided that I contribute and they donate it to the library project. For that, you can already know there is no controversy. Bola Ahmed Tinubu should get the student vote. It's no controversy.
More than 1,000 youths were empowered with 250,000 just to start a small-scale business. And also past dance leaders, about 100 of them were also empowered with 1 million naira each, including the National Executive Council, of which were also empowered by Honorable Smart Olalekan Edwards.
The group commended the friendly business climate under the present administration, the establishment of Ogoni University, and other legacy projects that are putting Nigeria on the global map, and later honored the First Family for providing transformational leadership to Nigerians. Nigeria's First Lady, Oluremi Tinubu, has arrived in Gombe State on a 2-day working visit. She was received at the State Airport government delegation led by the Governor Mohammed Enowayaya. While in the state, the First Lady will perform the national launch of renewed hope initiative Flow with Confidence, a vital menstrual health intervention for schoolgirls. On the sidelines of the launch, she will meet the Traditional Rulers Council to enlist their support for her health initiatives and also inaugurate key projects undertaken by the state government and the health sector. First Lady Oluremi Tinubu. Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu has been conferred with the traditional title of Saranwa Yaki, the Queen Warrior of Akko Emirate in Gombe State. The honor is in recognition of her passion for defending the interests of the weak across the nation. It was conferred on her by the Lamido Akko, Alhaji Omar Mohammed Atiku, during her 2-day working visit to the state. Acknowledging the recognition, the First Lady pledged to sustain her intervention for the girl child and further enlisted the support of traditional rulers in the state to drive her advocacy. Her conferment ceremony was witnessed by the State Governor Mohammed Enowayaya and the Chief Whip of the House of Representatives, Osman Bello Kumo. While in the state, the First Lady will perform the national launch of a renewed hope initiative, Flow with Confidence, a vital menstrual health intervention for schoolgirls. Our time Lagos Network Studios.
Thank you, Mina, for joining us in Lagos. Nigeria gained independence with pomp and celebration characterizing the day. Lagos, the former capital of the country, hosted enthusiastic Nigerians eager to witness the realization of the dreams of the nation's founding fathers. 65 years down the line, memories of the mood of hope and vision of a great nation at the Tafawa Balewa Square, known then as Race Course, seems like yesterday for those who were part of a historic occasion. Joel Pokwola in this package say many are oblivious of the symbolic place of TBS in Nigeria's independence history.
Nigeria were unanimous in their clamor, and after a long era of British colonial rule, it came to life in 1960, becoming the signature of all eyes among the Community of Nations, respected for its unity, cultural diversity, and avalanche of resources. For those who didn't witness the epoch-making event, Desmond Majekodunmi, who was among the enthusiastic Nigerians at the race course now Tafawa Balewa Square, recalled that it was a carnival-like atmosphere and the excitement was unprecedented.
Everybody was so excited and just jubilating all the way. And luckily for me, I was born just a few hundred meters away from the race course, and we lived there right up until my teens. So I was able to experience the whole event, heartwarming event, and it was a unifying of all our ethnicities.
Agriculture was the mainstay of the Nigerian economy, and the nation had the capacity to feed no fewer than half of the world's population. Desmond Majekodunmi believes Nigeria can still attain this feat.
We're seeing a process now starting that will be unstoppable. whereby Nigeria, the giant of Africa, shall stand to be a giant that shall lead the African nation.
After more than 6 decades, Tafawa Balewa Square is no longer what it used to be.
Precisely on the 1st of October 1960, Nigerians gathered here to witness the birth of a new nation. 65 years down the line, a lot of development has engulfed Tafawa Balewa Square and environ.
While some Lagosians have read or heard about the historical events at the TBS, many are oblivious of its importance.
I know that's where people gathered for functions, and that's the purpose, and has been fulfilling that purpose.
I was told this is the first day, now that 1960, the independent works, they have all the occasion of that day start from here.
With several developments over the decades, including the establishment of a bus rapid transit park, respondents agree that this should not downplay the relevance of Tafawa Balewa Square, which many young Nigerians are ignorant of. In Lagos, Joel Mukbola, NTA News.
The manufacturing sector has been identified as the backbone of any country's industrial development strategies. Comptroller General of Customs Bashir Adeniyi reaffirmed this at the signing of a document to address critical issues between the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria and the Nigeria Customs Service in Lagos. Bolaji Akim has the rest of the report.
The manufacturing sector, no doubt, is facing a series of challenges which necessitated the manufacturer stakeholders' engagement with the Nigeria Customs. The meeting, which was held behind closed doors, provided ample opportunity for both organizations to brainstorm on critical issues facing the growth of the manufacturing sector in the country, with a view to finding lasting solutions without compromising the country revenue drive. Issues raised by both organizations include implementation of 4% FOB charges, multiple threats to trade facilitation, use of multiple alerts in clearance system, and glitches experienced on Odogu platform some months ago. Speaking with journalists after the closed door session, Comptroller General of Customs Bashir Adeniyi revealed that after a robust deliberation, both organizations agreed to find a meeting point for the benefit of the country.
Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, Nigerian Customs Service, and the Federal Ministry of Finance will work together for the inclusion of manufacturers who are not currently enjoying any benefits from chapters 98 and 99. An immediate tripartite consultation of the Federal Ministry of Finance, Nigerian Customs Service, and the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria will be held to work out the modalities for expedited onboarding of manufacturers on Chapter 98 and Chapter 99.
The 4% means that it will be exempted to not be charged again. So whatever that means when it is not charged, I think we are just happy for it.
The signing of the agreed document by both organizations towards the overall development of the Nigerian economy was the icing on the cake. In Lagos, Bolaji Akim, NTA News.
And those are the reports from Lagos. We'll return you to Mina in Abuja for more nationwide, but that will be after the break.
Beating heart of Owerri, business never sleeps. From sunrise to sundown, the wheels keep turning. And behind the scenes, vision meets action. Governor Hope Uzodimma's leadership has turned manifestos into reality. Transformations that feels like a miracle. But progress needs peace, and in Imo, it's not left to chance. From land to sky to river deep, guardians are watching, protecting dreams and opportunity. At Orashi's quiet shore, hydropower is rising, set to energize a growing economy. The change is visible. New roads emerge, industry hums, communities come alive. At the center, a digital revolution. 500,000 young minds trained each year to build the future. As Orashi rises, so does Imo and the hopes of a hard-working people. A new Imo is on the rise.
Welcome your host, Bisola Ayola.
Hi everyone! Woo! All the way from Akwa Ibom State, it's the sensational family! from Benue State, it's the TWC family.
My name is Christiana. I'm a fashion designer.
My name is Christiana. I'm a fashion designer.
You are into Asia. You are into catering. You are into another thing.
I sing. You sing as well.
Oh my God.
Grace, take it away.
All around the world, no one looks like you. You can put a smile on your face. You're beautiful. For the Spirit of the Lord is indwells in you.
Mention a common response with your situationship should ask you, what are we?
We are just friends, one item. Or like a sister to me.
Nothing.
Lovers. We are who we are.
We are who we are. Survey says.
Submission to the will of God. The Yilwada family of Kanke local government area announces the glorious home calling of their matriarch, Nana Lydia Yilwada Goshwe. Mama passed on August 17, 2025. She spent her life serving in the Church of Christ in Nations, cooking. She is survived by 7 children, including the national chairman of the All Progressives Congress, APC, Professor Nentawe Yilwada Goshwe. Join the family to celebrate her life. Service of songs, Friday, October 3rd, 2025, 3 p.m. at Langfield Event Center, Jos. Funeral service, Saturday, October 4th, 2025 at 11 a.m. Corpse leaves the Juve Mortuary for Cooking Headquarters, Jos for the service. Interment follows immediately in Dungun, Kanke local government area. Announcer, Professor Nentawe Yilwada Goshwe, APC National Chairman, for the family.
Welcome back to Abuja. On the day Nigeria marked her independence, Bayero University Kano alumni in Abuja chose a different kind of celebration, giving back to society by equipping Nigerians with the skills to survive and thrive. Correspondent Ibrahim Dan Hamidu reports.
The 2025 Capacity Building Workshop of the Bayero University Kano Alumni Association, FCT chapter, carried the theme Strengthening Bonds, Creating Opportunities Through Innovation and Entrepreneurship.
What are you good in? What problems can you solve?
Timed for October 1, the program focused on how to grow beyond dependence on public service.
You know, all over the world you find what is called connivance of the elites to better the people. Where, like in developed countries, they go for social security. The elites targeted that to ensure that the downtrodden live in peace, so they also can live in peace.
No single crop in the world that cannot be grown in a given part of this country. This is how blessed we are. Nigeria is yet to utilize up to 20% of its arable land.
Having left the university over 41 years ago, but honestly I have gained. I have gained even from the last speaker. Things I do wish to do that I was thinking it will require money. He broke it down easily.
Some of us are used to what we've done forever. You'll be shocked that even planting, the science behind planting a crop.
As Alumni Association, we also have a part to play to support governments, to support our alma mater.
Independence is more than history. It is the courage to innovate and the will to endure. In Abuja, I am Ibrahim N. Hamidu, NTA News.
Space science in focus as the African youth's interest in space sciences are ignited and equipped with essential skills for aerospace and STEM careers at this year's Pathway to Space initiative in Abuja. Deborah Malabubo reports.
and being experienced by these very excited students for the first time. These and other capstone experience reflect the dedication of the organizers to nurture young talents and advance Africa's space agenda.
The Space Agency is very much interested in getting young people to embrace STEM, to embrace space science and technology. So this is an opportunity for us to get them to be a part of a program that is designed to let them know that, oh, this is something that they also can do.
I feel like we have got very smart kids in Nigeria, Kenya, Ethiopia. We've got very smart kids. The only thing that we need to do is obviously bring government, learning institutions and parents together and create a community that will support these kids.
Today, facilitators a vision and a labor of love.
The program was quite interesting. We learned a lot of things about space, how rocket ships are built.
I thought Mars wasn't cold, but surprisingly Mars is built with icy glaciers and its temperature can drop to minus 60 degrees Celsius, and that's quite surprising.
I believe that if Nigeria can provide enough facilities for us to be able to go to space, we can actually solve some of these problems.
The organizers are also set to collaborate with the Nigerian Space Agency to get many more youth on board the STEM spaceship. In Abuja, Deborah Balagubo, NT News.
Chairman of the Fact-Finding Committee on the Plateau Crisis, Major General Nicholas Rogers, is expressing optimism that the recommendations submitted to Governor Caleb Mutfwang on Plateau attacks will bring lasting peace in the state if carefully studied and implemented. He stated this while addressing journalists in Jos after the submission of the committee's report. Bilkisu Nehu has details.
Journalist Major General Rogers notes that the committee held extensive consultations with stakeholders across the affected local government areas and documented the views and concerns of the victims before arriving at its recommendations and presentation of the report to the state government.
I want the state government to look at the paper critically with strong political will to be able to implement the recommendations that we set out, because the recommendations, if properly done, implemented, will bring a lasting peace.
The chairman emphasized the need for Plateau citizens to live together in peace and harmony, regardless of ethnic or religious differences. In Jos, Bilkisu Nuhu, NTA News.
Thankfully, Bilkisu is here to tell us more. Hello, Bilkisu. What are some of the issues the Fact-Finding Committee gathered from its assessment and meetings with the stakeholders? So because you can hear me, just tell us some of the issues the Fact-Finding Committee gathered from the assessment and meetings with the stakeholders, Bekisu. Well, I think Bilkisu is still finding it difficult to, hear us, but while they get that done, let's get to the next story. Stakeholders in matters of national growth have re-echoed the need for greater transparency, accountability and community engagement in addressing development challenges in oil-producing communities. This was the pointer at the launch of a report by the Civil Society Legislative Advocacy Center in collaboration with Fair Finance Nigeria and partners in Abuja. Mohammed Rabiu Ali reports.
The Nigerian oil and gas sector has for decades been the backbone of the nation's economy, but the story of host communities is that of exclusion and environmental devastation, despite the enactment of the Petroleum Industry Act 2021. The report examines the socio-economic and environmental challenges these host communities face and highlighting the role of illicit financial flows, exposing perpetrators of crude oil theft.
From 2020 to 2025, you can see how much money we have lost, and if you inject just 10% of that money to this community we are talking about, you would have made life easy for them. Communities are knowledgeable about social investments, that's the PIA and HCDT fund, environmental protocols for environment disruption. However, the case studies identify slow response,
with communities alleging that pipeline installation companies and security agencies are complicit in these crimes.
There is a consensus that the report will provide actionable solutions to the lingering problems affecting the host communities. In Abuja, Muhammad Rabiu Ali, NTA News.
Ibadan Network Center is our next stopover, and Larry is standing by. Hello, Larry.
And good to see you. The Association of Professional Women Engineers of Nigeria, APWEN, is committed to promoting gender inclusivity in engineering in the bid to improving the nation's economy. This was the take at the annual conference, exhibition and general meeting of the association, a branch of the Nigerian Society of Engineers held in Ibadan. Lukman Hassan has the details.
The chairperson of the Association of Professional Women Engineers of Nigeria, APWEN, Dr. Adebisi Osim, while ruling out the achievement of the association, highlighted training of 150 girls on engineering challenges, solar energy, sustainable design and material science. Dr. Osim, alongside the president of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, noted that as a key factor in the manufacturing sector, female engineers will continue to ensure that they contribute towards the promotion of productions by manufacturers in the country.
We want of the future explore mentorship opportunity from the experienced female engineers.
We continue to train and retrain ourselves so that we can meet up with
Oyo State government, manufacturers and other guests at the APWEN annual conference noted that engineers, as key component of any economic growth, must be utilized to create jobs for the teeming youths in the country.
We are creating an enabling environment where manufacturing can thrive. We support the STEM initiatives for young girls.
Without the engineers, Ajaokuta would have been long gone. In the past 40 years, the engineers, they have been preserving those our plans.
We have a leverage, and it's time that we start to use that leverage.
The APWEN 2025 International Conference, Exhibition and Annual General Meeting, with the team revitalizing Nigeria's manufacturing sector through innovative engineering solutions, is to find solutions to Nigeria's manufacturing needs and provide solutions to them. The week-long activities for the conference, which began with a press conference, hopes to collaborate and expand apprenticeship, internship and scholarship with a call for support of engineering-led policies that will empower industries. In Ibadan, Lukman Hassan, NTA News.
Leaders of the various groups within the All Progressives Congress APC in Oyo State are closing ranks under a common front for a more united and formidable force. These came to the fore at the meeting between the Remi Oseni Committee of Friends, ROCOF, Oyo State, and APC Progressives Movement held in Ibadan. Wasiu Rauf has details.
Divided we fall, united we stand. This was the main message as the two different groups, Remi Oseni Committee of Friends, ROCOF, and All Progressive Movement, came together in a show of unity. The meeting, championed by Remi Oseni, who represents Ido Ibarapa Federal Constituency, and political leader Lawo Bisesun, was held to address internal divisions threatening the party's strength ahead of the 2027 general elections. Both leaders noted that it is the time to set aside personal and group differences, resolve internal wranglings, and form a united front, not just for the success of President Bola Tinubu's second-term bid, but also to return the APC to power in Oyo State.
A chapter where we work together side by side in unity of purpose and in pursuit of a glorious future for Oyo State.
There is a way by which we are reconciling with every other significant members in the state. If you look into that, if they start mentioning the name of members who attend this meeting, you know they are all people that make Oyo State in politics.
With this renewed spirit of unity, stakeholders believed the APC is now in a stronger position to reclaim political ground and secure victory in future elections across the state. In Ibadan, Wasiu Rauf, NTA News.
And those are the trending reports from Ibadan at this hour. Nationwide continues in our Abuja studio after this break. Stay with us.
From the Atlantic across the savannah to the Sahara, we rise the land of the free, we know they tire. We bring grace, our spirit is undying.
Resilient, rooted like mountain, we swear in God, we stand down in the land, we make solutions, we make passion, yeah. It's a message to me, we have more than the solution. Nigeria, Nigeria, strength and unity, we know they carry lives, we are Nigeria, together lift the tree of the land with their destiny, we are Nigeria.
I am the Real Nigerian, brought to you by the National Orientation Agency, NOA.
Have you been aspiring to be a student of the prestigious Ahmadu Bello University Zaria to no avail? Worry no more, as you can gain entry through NTA Television College Jos, an affiliate of the renowned Ahmadu Bello University Zaria, where eligible candidates with a JAMB admissible scores of not less than 180 and 100 scores, and with 5 credits O-level in social sciences including English and mathematics, can turn their passion in broadcasting to profession by applying for a BSc in Mass Communication and MBTE approved innovation diploma courses in film and television production, broadcast journalism and television engineering respectively. The college, as a training hub with a pedigree of professionalism in the media space, also offers specialized courses in other related fields. For more information, visit our website at www.ntatvc.edu.ng or contact 08033 834-343 and 08069-809-897. Announcer Management.
Are you ready? Join us on Reshaping Democracy, a groundbreaking program on the network service of the NTA, where citizens get the chance to ask ministers, heads of ministerial departments, agencies, and other top government officials questions on their performance and delivery of mandates. With no sector of limits, conversations build around bridging communication gaps for feedback and effect as our guests engage with the people they serve.
How does ND foster partnerships with organizations, government agencies, NGOs, among others?
As our leaders give account to citizens' inquiries on good governance, tune in to Reshaping Democracy, a creative concept coming up every Tuesday evening at 10:05 p.m.
This is Reshaping Democracy.
Thanks for joining us again. Leveraging emerging technology is at the heart of the Nigerian Navy Transformation Seminar, which seeks to ensure the use of more homegrown solutions to reposition the Navy and armed forces in general as formidable in combating emerging threats. Defense correspondent Naija Tijani reports.
At the heart of this transformation seminar is leveraging emerging technology. Since the last seminar in 2024, several operations have been launched, born from lessons learned.
One key area in focus is the use of unmanned aerial vehicles,
with a special lecture covering how the Nigerian Navy can integrate them more with homegrown solutions proffered by Nigerian minds for the country's complex security climb and emerging global trends.
So we need to wear our thinking hat and see how we can elongate this operation. Simple things like cleaning the engine after every flight will help in this regard.
The Chief of the Naval Staff, in a message delivered by the Chief of Communications, agrees, saying that all this can be achieved through research and development.
We must therefore redirect our research and development focus towards the indigenous design and manufacture of mission-critical components such as radars, navigational systems, surveillance drones, and secure communication equipment.
The two-day event is expected to push not just the Navy but the armed forces towards a technology-driven, locally sustained and decisive future, keeping up with global trends to carry out its mandate. Naja'atu Tijani, NTA News.
The Nigerian Air Force stepped off the parade ground and onto the fairway, uniting in a different kind of formation for the celebration of the country's 65th independence. The event blends discipline, camaraderie and sport. Defense correspondent Olajide Bello captures the moment.
Away from intelligence, surveillance and reconnaissance missions, armed recce and this control stick, it was time to hold a golf club. The tee-off symbolizing a fresh drive towards progress and renewed national purpose, aligning with Nigeria's 65th independence anniversary as a pivotal moment to chart a stronger, unified future. As golf teaches patience, focus and strategy, just like the military, the day is about celebrating Nigeria, not just swinging clubs, but hope for the next generation.
GEJ has made history today, being the first club in the history of Nigeria to bring the brand of culture into golfing community, which is commendable. For me, their theme today is a message that we must love our country. We must use golf to tap the benefits of iconic institution of our country.
Looking at our country, one of the things the government is pushing is local content. And we decided, and because of that, we thought it wise to showcase our local fabric. And that is why the theme, swinging in the depths of Nigeria's cultural heritage.
At 65, Nigeria's armed forces has proven that national pride isn't just carried in arms, but also in fellowship, sport, and in the quiet moments between swings. Olajide Bello, NTA News.
An endowment fund that will support the maintenance and running of the newly completed National Theatre, now named the Wale Soyinka Center for Culture and Creative Arts, will be created. The renovated iconic structure is said to be a massive platform to stimulate growth in the creative industry. Amaka Owo reports that this was stated by the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu at the inauguration of the completed facility.
The National Theatre came alive and played host to the President, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and the First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, the hierarchy of the National Assembly, and other members of the Federal Executive Council. The President highlighted the role of the historic edifice in promoting the nation's cultural heritage in Festac 77. He urged Nigerians to remain steadfast in projecting the nation in positive light at all times.
Something that is very, very important to me, to you as government and Nigeria in diaspora. That is, stop talking about Nigeria in a negative tone. It's a country of very proud people. We know what we are. It might not be because of education. There are a lot of educated relics around the world. About ourselves, believing something we inherited from our parents and great forebearers. A nation of brave people, confidence, building together. Every christening, if you have a bad dream, forget it. This country will succeed.
The National Theatre, now named after the famous Nobel laureate Professor Wole Soyinka, is now called the Wole Soyinka Center for Culture and Creative Arts.
I remember this building when it was first erected during the military regime. I think we called it the General's Hat because of the shape of the roof. There's, of course, in the conception, very little of what I call the African architectural intelligence.
Lagos State is proud to have been a key stakeholder and a partner in this project, and we have demonstrated it in every concrete way.
This theatre is the virtue, the ideal of every single Nigerian. It is only fitting that this landmark now bears the name of Professor Wole Soyinka, our Nobel laureate and eternal storyteller.
The governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria appreciated the contributions of the private sector in injecting about 68 billion naira towards the realization of the project. He highlighted the immense impact of the National Theatre towards deepening revenue earnings in the creative sector.
It is a treasure we must all protect and nurture so that it never again falls into disuse. Let it stand as a beacon of creativity, innovation, and unity for decades to come.
Several theatrical performances to commemorate the rebirth of the national edifice were on display. In Lagos, Amaka O, NTA News.
And in the spirit of Nigeria's 65th independence celebration, caring for the needy benefits the mood of the nation. And this informed non-governmental organization Hope Everyday Foundation to embark on medical outreach to provide healthcare services to traffic and allied officers serving in the Kuje division. Elizabeth Omori reports.
That's Officer Victor doing what he knows how best to do. Since joining the Nigeria Police in 2008, many like him, come rain or shine, defy the odds to ease traffic every day on the road. This daily task takes its toll on their health. So, Hope Everyday Foundation took its humanitarian campaign to Kuje, Abuja, to provide health services and make possible referrals.
All I have to say to thank them, I appreciate for their effort, for coming together to look into our head, and God will bless them.
Blood pressure, sugar, and malaria tests were among those carried out.
In the case of the traffic wardens, we see that they don't even have the time to access health care. So we decided to do something for them, and we thought what better day than the Independence Day of Nigeria. So this is a good time for us to reach out to them and to give them free medications. Some of them may not need medications, but we'll give supplements like vitamins just to keep them healthy. Their health is our concern.
They might not even have the chance to say, let them take care of their health. But seeing an outreach like this coming out to make themselves available, we are really, really proud to be associated with them.
As they present their health concerns, medical experts urge them to prioritize their health, hydrate regularly, and go for checks. In Abuja, Elizabeth Omori, NTA News.
President Bola Tinubu congratulates the management and staff of Cresta Laurel Limited on the 35th anniversary of the leading indigenous elevator company. Cresta Laurel Limited is a recipient of the African Order of Merit in cranes, escalators and elevator technology. In a statement, President Tinubu commends Cresta Laurel for its enterprise discipline and particularly Senator Gbenga Daniel, Chairman of the Board of Directors, for their unwavering belief in the Nigerian market, wishing them more success and many remarkable anniversaries. Jigawa State Government pledges its readiness to work with foreign investors to boost food production and improve the livelihoods of citizens. Governor Umar Namadi made a commitment while receiving the Managing Director of Strategy, Planning and Business Development of AgriHer India, Dr. Somini Sankara, and her delegation on a courtesy visit to Government House, Dose. Mohammed Musa Askira reports.
Governor Umar Namadi said Jigawa and India share similar development challenges, stressing that lessons from India could help lift millions out of poverty. He assured that the state has the resources, opportunities, and dedicated workforce to support such initiatives. Dr. Sankara commended Jigawa's agricultural potential and said her team's scoping study will focus on local value addition, youth engagement, and reducing exports of raw materials in favor of local processing. She identified wheat, cassava, and hibiscus as key crops with huge potential and emphasized the importance of market access and sustainability.
We are here. Jigawa is open for business. Jigawa is ready to cooperate with international partners to see how we can improve the livelihood of our people.
The purpose of this scoping study was to introduce processing facilities here and also involve these communities and the rural youth to be part of this bigger program of agri-preneurship.
The partnership is expected to open up new opportunities for farmers and rural communities across Jigawa State. From Buti, Muhammad Musa Askira, NTA News.
Always live a sacrificial and thankful life is the message from the Archbishop of Uyo, Most Reverend John Aya, during the 20th priestly ordination anniversary Thanksgiving of Reverend Father Stephen Akpan in Abuja. Asabe Williams reports.
Mass of Thanksgiving as parishioners converged on St. Josephine Bakita for the priestly ordination anniversary of Reverend Stephen Akpan alongside two other priests who were all ordained in 2005. In his homily, the representative of the Bishop of Uyo reiterated the need for an upright life, reminding the celebrants that they were chosen by God and emphasizing that people will be judged by their deeds.
True thing that God has given to you, not by your power or your might, is given to you out of love to care for the poor around you. Be kind, be generous, be thankful. God will bless you.
For the chief celebrant, the only surviving child of his parents, this milestone is a time for thanksgiving.
The past 20 years, I must tell you, it has never been difficult at all. I have not regretted because the same grace of God that put me there has been sustaining me for the past 20 years. And I believe that that same grace will sustain me for many more years in good health.
There have been moments of challenges too. Moments that have caused us a lot of pains and tears. But in all, God is to be glorified because His grace and strength has never departed from us for these 20 years.
As part of the celebration, a book was launched to help strengthen married lives.
Once you enter into that marriage, you are simply given the opportunity that the church allows you to receive sacrament or receive communion in the church and remain in good communion, but not a sacrament. So I want to warn Catholics to be careful the ways they step out of the Catholic Church into what we call the disparity of God marriage.
He's 20 years today, we're celebrating. The book he has written today is for us to enlighten us more about marriage.
Many marriages are consummated in Abuja here, not making reference to the parents of the girl or the man. They just see themselves all in the town and decide to come together in the name of marriage. It's becoming a challenge. That is why Father is educating us today that marriage should not be done that way.
For the congregation would like the psalmist echoed, "My soul proclaims your greatness." In Abuja, Asabe Williams, NTA News.
Sports update is next.
All Stars International of Abuja emerged victorious in the 65th Independent Unveiling and Rebranding Nigerian Initiative Novelty Match defeating Citygate All-Stars 2-0. The match took place at the FIFA Goal Project Package B of the Moshood Abiola National Stadium, Abuja, now in its 5th edition. The novelty match is part of efforts by organizers to promote national unity among Nigerians, particularly during the country's Independence Day celebrations.
They have brought in a lot of people here, especially the young people, the veterans, and other people to come and have this novelty football match in order to foster unity.
There is no better platform to preach unity as one Nigeria as football. You can see different people from different walks of life, and we are all on the same platform preaching unity.
Elsewhere, Rivaldo Football Arena came alive as T-Pompey football team faced off against Rivaldo Football Club in a thrilling encounter that kept fans on the edge of their seat. The event drew football legends, business partners and passionate fans from around the country with the aim to inspire and positively impact the future of young football talents in the country.
Because this is about Nigerians, this is about the youth, this is about sport lovers as well. So there's no way I can hesitate that not to show up for him.
A very powerful football match. Of course, we that have finished, we want to see if we can get some talents from here. We don't need to be talking about negativity of Nigeria. Nigeria is our country. Let's come together.
The Europa League is back tonight with 7 exciting clashes lighting up the continent. In Rome, AS Roma face a stern test from French side Lille, while fellow Italians Bologna host Germany's Freiburg. Over in Glasgow, Celtic welcome Braga in what promises to be a lively night at Parkhead. In Istanbul, Fenerbahce take on Nice in a high-stakes battle as Aston Villa travel to the Netherlands for a tough encounter with Feyenoord. Austrian side Sturm Graz will look to hold off a challenge from Rangers, and in France, Lyon go head-to-head with RB Salzburg in a clash full of youthful talents. For Sports Update, Bright Ebuchu, NTA News.
That's Nationwide. Many thanks for your company. I am Mina Daniels.
We believe in peaceful coexistence with each other and with our environment.
We believe that it is wrong to destroy our biodiversity, which is God's gift to us.
We all depend on the beautiful animals